A mysterious man, wearing a wide-brimmed white hat, dark sunglasses, and a scarf covering his face, quietly walked into a clinic in the small town of Wipahu, Hawaii. Just a minute later, he rushed out, leaving behind only the white hat he had dropped. Hours later, the body of Japanese-American acupuncturist John Tokohara was found in a pool of blood right inside that very clinic. Behind this shocking murder that shook all of Hawaii was a secret affair and a carefully planned act of revenge. Before we dive into the story, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our gripping, real-life crime cases told in full detail and honesty. Wipahu, a small, peaceful town on the western side of Honolulu, Hawaii, was once famous for its sugarcane plantations. Today, it's home to many Japanese-American families. For nearly 2 decades, Dr. John Tokohara, a beloved acupuncture specialist, quietly dedicated his life to healing thousands of patients through traditional medicine. But on the evening of January 12, 2022, John suddenly didn't show up for dinner, despite promising his mother, Lily Tokohara, that he would. By the next morning, worried after hearing nothing from her son, Lily decided to visit his clinic herself. And there, a horrifying scene awaited her. Her son, Dr. Tokohara, lay lifeless in a pool of blood, with no signs of life. When police arrived at the scene, the clinic was immediately sealed off. Inside, once a place of healing and care, was now a haunting crime scene. On the floor, 5 spent .22 caliber shell casings were scattered across the room. Next to the body, a stack of cash remained untouched. This clearly suggested one thing: robbery was not the motive. Forensics later confirmed John Tokohara had been shot 4 times, 2 of those bullets fired directly into his face. A cold, calculated act fueled by hatred. At the scene, police discovered 2 phones in the victim's office. One was a regular smartphone used for calls and messaging. The other, strangely, could only connect to Wi-Fi and was mostly used by John to play Pokemon after work. When investigators checked the data, they noticed something unusual. At exactly 6:18 p.m. on January 12th, all digital signals from John suddenly went dark. At that same moment, a nearby security camera captured footage of a strange man wearing a white hat, dark sunglasses, and a face covering walking into the clinic, right as John went off the grid. Less than a minute later, the man left the scene and drove off in a white Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck with no clearly visible license plate. A mysterious figure, appearing at the exact moment the victim was killed. Could this be the killer? No signs of robbery, no financial disputes. Police began shifting their investigation toward John's personal life, where shocking secrets were waiting to be uncovered. Despite being a respected and devoted doctor in the community, behind that polished image, John Tokohara had been romantically involved with several married women, many of whom were his own patients. Some of these secret affairs had strained marriages and sparked quiet but intense anger from their husbands. 2 men quickly became persons of interest. John DeMarco, the ex-husband of one of John's former lovers, and Daryl Fuertes, a man who broke up with his girlfriend after discovering she'd been having an affair with Dr. Tokohara. However, after thorough questioning and a deep dive into their digital activity, both men had solid alibis and were cleared of suspicion. If it wasn't them, then who pulled the trigger that ended John's life? While examining the victim's personal phone, investigators uncovered a shocking clue. Over 5,600 text messages exchanged within just 1 month between John Tokohara and a woman named Joyce. The messages revealed a deep emotional relationship filled with love notes, private photos, and even talk of a future together. But the most alarming message came as a warning from Joyce herself. "If you keep reaching out, my husband might kill you." That single line shifted the focus of the investigation toward Joyce's husband, and the truth was just as police suspected. Joyce Thompson was married to Eric Thompson, the registered owner of a white Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck, matching the exact vehicle seen leaving the crime scene. A forbidden affair, a chilling threat, And now a prime suspect begins to emerge. As soon as Eric Thompson's identity was confirmed, police brought him in for questioning. At the station, Eric firmly denied having anything to do with the death of Dr. John Tokohara. But then, when comparing his statements, detectives found several inconsistencies in the timeline and locations Eric claimed to be at on the night of the murder. And it didn't stop there. Surveillance footage near the clinic captured a white 2014 Chevrolet Silverado, matching the exact make and model owned by Eric, showing up at the exact time John went off the grid. And finally, a critical piece of evidence surfaced. The white hat that the killer dropped while fleeing the scene was recovered by a homeless man. DNA testing revealed that the traces found inside the hat belonged to Eric Thompson. With mounting evidence, police obtained a warrant and searched the entire home of Eric Thompson. In the backyard, they discovered a scorched bucket and a wheelbarrow, both showing signs of recent burning, likely used in an attempt to destroy evidence. Inside the house, officers seized a total of 12 legally registered firearms, all under Eric's name. Of particular interest were 220 caliber guns, the same caliber as the shell casings found at the crime scene. However, forensic testing revealed that none of the guns recovered were the murder weapon. This led investigators to believe the killer may have disposed of the firearm after the crime. With the DNA-matched hat, the surveillance footage tying his vehicle to the scene, and inconsistencies in his alibi, police officially arrested Eric Thompson on Valentine's Day, February 14th. In March 2023, the trial of Eric Thompson officially began. Inside the courtroom, Eric appeared calm, seated beside his wife, Joyce, who surprisingly continued to stand by his side, despite her previously revealed affair with the victim. The defense argued there are no direct witnesses placing Eric at the scene. No murder weapon was ever recovered. This is all speculation and coincidence. The prosecution, however, focused on motive and a chain of compelling circumstantial evidence. The affair between the victim and the defendant's wife. The warning text, "If you keep reaching out, my husband might kill you." The white hat with Eric's DNA. Surveillance footage of Eric's truck near the crime scene. The mysterious backyard fire shortly after the murder. And most notably, a post-nuptial agreement signed just 11 days before the crime, stating that in case of divorce, Eric would receive full custody of the children and retain all assets. Both sides battled fiercely, one claiming total innocence, the other painting a picture of a calculated, cold-blooded plan. After days of arguments, the jury went into deliberation. The result, 9 jurors voted to convict, 3 did not. Without a unanimous verdict, the trial was declared a mistrial, no conviction, due to a hung jury. After the failed first trial, justice finally had its answer. In February 2025, following months of additional evidence gathering and clarification of key details, Eric Thompson's second trial officially began. This time, there was no division, no uncertainty. The jury reached a unanimous verdict. Eric Thompson was found guilty of first-degree murder. Sentence, life in prison, without the possibility of parole. As the verdict was read, the courtroom fell silent. The victim's mother, Lily Tokohara, broke down in tears, clutching her son's portrait as she stood before the court. John's friends and colleagues, those who had waited 3 long years for justice, nodded quietly, finally able to exhale. But not everyone agreed. Within the community, opinions remained split. Some believed Eric lost control after being betrayed, but ultimately, taking a life was the greatest wrong. Others blamed John Tokohara, accusing him of repeatedly crossing the line by engaging in affairs with married women, creating chaos and heartbreak for many. One case has come to an end, but the pain, the controversy, and the haunting questions, it's likely they'll linger forever. A man lost his life for loving the wrong person. Another man lost his freedom because he couldn't let go of his rage. And in between them, a woman, caught in the middle, faced with choices that were never easy. What about you? What do you think about this case? Who was right? Who was wrong? And was a life sentence without parole truly justice? Let us know in the comments below. We read every single one of your thoughts. If you enjoy real-life crime stories like this one, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another gripping case. Thanks for staying with us until the end. We'll see you in the next video.